To be or not to be, these words carry the weight of an agonizing question that echoes through time. Should one choose life, no matter how painful, or is death a release from life's relentless suffering? This is the question that Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, faces. Hamlet is not just a play. It's a journey into the deepest, darkest corners of the human mind, filled with revenge, madness, and betrayal. But what could drive a prince to the edge of sanity and beyond? Let's find out. Our story begins in Denmark, in a royal court shrouded in unease. Hamlet is mourning the death of his father, King Hamlet, while struggling to accept that his mother, Queen Gertrude, has married his uncle, Claudius, only a month after the king's death. Claudius is now the new king, and something about this quick marriage feels off. Then, a ghost appears. It looks like the dead king himself and beckons Hamlet for a private word. Alone with the prince, the ghost reveals a horrifying truth. King Hamlet didn't die of natural causes. He was murdered by Claudius, who poured poison into his ear as he slept. The ghost commands Hamlet to avenge his father's death. Hamlet is stunned. Should he believe the ghost? Is this call for revenge even real? Or is it a trick of the devil? The seed of revenge has been planted, but what will Hamlet do? Would you believe a ghost if it told you to avenge a murder? Rising tensions and Hamlet's descent. Haunted by his father's command, Hamlet grapples with his grief, anger, and the enormity of avenging his father's death. He struggles with how to confirm Claudius's guilt, but then he devises a plan. Hamlet asks a troupe of actors to perform a play that mirrors the ghost's story. A king is poisoned by his brother. If Claudius reacts, Hamlet will know he's guilty. As the play unfolds, Claudius watches, unsettled, and then, unable to hide his guilt, Claudius rises and storms out. The play worked, Hamlet has his proof, but now, what will he do with it? Is Hamlet wise to test Claudius in such a public way? Or is he risking everything by taunting a murderer? The turning point. As Hamlet contemplates his next steps, he delivers his iconic soliloquy, to be or not to be. Here, he wrestles with the biggest question of all. Is life, with all its pain and betrayal, worth enduring? Or is death a release from this suffering? This moment lays bare Hamlet's vulnerability and doubt, showing us the depth of his despair. But his resolve is tested again when he mistakenly kills Polonius, the king's advisor, believing it to be Claudius hiding behind a curtain. Polonius's death shocks the court, and Hamlet's actions start to look increasingly reckless. Do his actions seem justified or rash? Has Hamlet crossed a line, or is he simply fulfilling his duty? Spiral into madness and desperation. Meanwhile, Ophelia, Polonius's daughter and Hamlet's former love, is left shattered by her father's death and Hamlet's cruel rejection. She descends into madness, singing broken songs and ultimately drowning in the river. Her tragedy adds a new layer of sorrow and despair to the unfolding drama. As for Hamlet, he's sent away to England by Claudius, who secretly arranges for Hamlet's execution. Hamlet escapes, but by now, Claudius's desire to be rid of him is clear, and back in Denmark, Polonius's son, Laertes, returns, furious, demanding revenge for his father's death. Can we truly fault Hamlet for what he's done? Or is he just a victim of a world turned against him? The tragic climax. Now, everything reaches a boiling point. Hamlet returns to Denmark, and Claudius sets up a fencing match between Hamlet and Laertes. But it's all a deadly scheme. Claudius poisons a goblet of wine, and Laertes' sword is tipped with poison. During the duel, Queen Gertrude accidentally drinks the poisoned wine meant for Hamlet. Laertes wounds Hamlet, and in the scuffle, Hamlet wounds Laertes back with the poisoned sword. Claudius's plot crumbles as Gertrude dies. Laertes confesses, and Hamlet, fatally wounded, finally kills Claudius. In his last moments, Hamlet asks his friend Horatio to tell his story, a plea to remember him not just as a man of revenge, but as someone who wrestled with the darkest of questions. Did Hamlet's story have to end this way? Was it fate, or his own choices that led to his tragic fall? Conclusion. reflection, and legacy. In the end, Hamlet is about more than revenge. It's about the conflicts within our own minds. It explores themes of betrayal, madness, the meaning of existence, and the desperate search for truth. This play endures because it shows us the human struggle, the fight between action and inaction, between duty and desire, between reason and madness. So what would you do in Hamlet's shoes? Is he a hero, a tragic fool, or something in between? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you for joining me on this journey into Shakespeare's world.